Standing at 5 feet 11 inches tall and weighing 219 pounds, Ray Bourque was the epitome of endurance in the NHL. Known as the league's Iron Man, he played an astounding 1,612 games, the most by any defenseman at the time of his retirement. His dominance on the ice was underscored by 19 All-Star selections and 5 Norris Trophies, awarded to the league's best defenseman. Beyond the accolades, Bourque embodied the spirit of Boston sports. His number 77 became iconic, representing his legendary leadership and unwavering loyalty throughout his 21 seasons with the Boston Bruins. However, despite his illustrious career, one critique always lingered. Ray Bourque had never won the Stanley Cup. That changed in 2001 when, at the age of 40, Bourque and the Colorado Avalanche embarked on one of the most emotional Stanley Cup runs in hockey history. Ray Bourque's journey from a small-town Montreal kid to one of hockey's greatest defensemen was far from predictable. The story of how the Bruins transformed from a struggling team into a formidable force in the league was not just about statistics and records. It was about one player who changed everything. In the 1979 NHL Draft, 8 teams had the chance to select Bourque before the Bruins. However, they all passed on him, believing he was too small, too young, or too French-Canadian to make an impact. The Bruins, however, took a chance with the 8th overall pick, a decision that would redefine their franchise for the next 21 years. No one could have predicted it then, but this 19-year-old defenseman from Montreal would go on to break every major Bruins record, wear the black and gold longer than any player in history, and become the highest-scoring defenseman the NHL had ever seen. But before he could accomplish any of that, young Ray Bourque had to prove himself on a Bruins team that had not won a playoff series in 5 years and was desperate for a hero. During the late 1970s, the Boston Bruins were in a rebuilding phase. Their legendary defenseman Bobby Orr had left, and their star scorer Phil Esposito had been traded away. The once feared team, known for striking fear in opponents, now looked lost on the ice. The 1978-79 season was particularly disastrous. The Bruins allowed 270 goals, the most in team history at the time. The proud Original Six franchise was eager to bounce back and regain its former dominance. Their defense was underperforming, and the team needed a game-changer. The Bruins desperately sought a defenseman who could not only stop opposing forwards, but also contribute offensively. Their existing defensemen were either too slow to keep up with faster players or too weak to stop the league's physical enforcers. Night after night, the Bruins struggled defensively, and the once roaring Boston Garden was growing quieter with every loss. When the 1979 NHL Draft arrived, the Bruins scouts strongly advocated for Ray Bourque. They saw something unique in the young defenseman from Montreal. Although he was not the biggest player, he had set scoring records in junior hockey while simultaneously playing exceptional defense. What truly caught the Bruins' attention was Bourque's endurance. He played between 35 and 40 minutes per game in juniors, while most defensemen could only handle 20 to 25 minutes. His stamina was unmatched. In his very first NHL game, Ray Bourque did not just perform well, he left everyone in awe. Wearing the number 7, he scored a goal and made 2 perfect assists against the Winnipeg Jets. The Boston Garden crowd, known for being tough on rookies, gave him a standing ovation. But what truly set Bourque apart was his confidence. Despite being just 19 years old, he played with the composure of a seasoned veteran. He was unafraid of anyone, standing his ground against some of the toughest players in the league. By December of his rookie year, Bourque had already broken the Bruins' record for most points by a rookie defenseman, and he still had half a season to play. His impact was so significant that the Bruins coach allowed him to run the power play, a responsibility usually reserved for experienced players. Opposing teams quickly realized they needed to plan their entire strategy around stopping this remarkable rookie. However, no one could figure out how. The defining moment of Bourque's rookie season came in a game against the Montreal Canadiens, the Bruins' longtime rivals. The Canadiens had dominated Boston for years, but Bourque was proving to be a game-changer. In a standout performance, he played shutdown defense against Montreal's top forwards while also contributing offensively. His ability to read the game, block key shots, and neutralize threats like Guy Lafleur left a lasting impression. Even veteran players and analysts acknowledged that Bourque played with the confidence and skill of a seasoned professional. That season, he won the Calder Trophy as the NHL's Rookie of the Year. However, Bourque was never one to settle. He continued to elevate his game year after year. In 1987, Bourque made a decision that cemented his legacy in Boston. He had been wearing number 7, the same number as Bruins legend Phil Esposito. Instead of keeping it, he orchestrated a tribute during a ceremony honoring Esposito. In an unforgettable moment, Bourque removed his number 7 jersey to reveal a new number, 77. This allowed Esposito's number to be officially retired, while also giving Bourque a number that would become one of the most iconic in hockey history. By his 3rd season, Bourque was already considered one of the NHL's best defensemen. His ability to contribute offensively while shutting down the opposition's top scorers was unmatched. His endurance became legendary. He averaged over 26 minutes of ice time per game, sometimes exceeding 30 minutes in crucial moments. Even in games where injuries forced the Bruins to rely heavily on him, Bourque never seemed to slow down. Unlike most defensemen, who excelled at either scoring or defending, Bourque was elite at both. He transformed the Bruins' defense into one of the most respected in the league. After 21 years of unwavering loyalty to Boston, Bourque faced the toughest decision of his career. The Bruins were in a rebuilding phase, trading away their best players, and with no real shot at winning the Stanley Cup. At age 39, Bourque knew his time was running out. During the 1999-2000 season, he approached Bruins management with a difficult request. He wanted a chance to compete for the Stanley Cup with a contending team. The news shocked Boston. Their captain, their hero, the man who had turned down millions to stay with the Bruins, was leaving. However, instead of anger, Boston fans responded with overwhelming support. They understood. On March 6, 2000, the Bruins traded Bourque to the Colorado Avalanche. Fans in Boston did not cheer for his departure. They cheered for his opportunity. In Colorado, Bourque joined a powerhouse team featuring legends like Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg, and Patrick Roy. Yet, even among these superstars, Bourque stood out. His leadership, work ethic, and hunger to win inspired the entire team. During the 2001 Stanley Cup playoffs, the Avalanche made it their mission to win 16 games, the number needed to secure the championship. Bourque played like a man on a mission, training harder than players half his age. The Stanley Cup Finals against the New Jersey Devils became the ultimate test. With the series tied 3-3, Game 7 would determine everything. On June 9, 2001, the Avalanche triumphed, and Ray Bourque finally lifted the Stanley Cup. As Avalanche captain, Joe Sakic received the trophy. He immediately handed it to Bourque, a moment that became one of the most emotional in hockey history. Bourque had finally achieved the dream he had chased for 22 years. Today, Ray Bourque's name remains synonymous with excellence, leadership, and perseverance. His legacy is forever etched in hockey history, proving that with hard work and determination, dreams really do come true.